Hi, friends. Welcome to Coffee Break. This is Dr. Michelle Alignay greeting you. Good day wherever you are in the world. So let's sit down this afternoon over a cup of coffee, or like me, I'm having a cup of pomegranate seed, my favorite, to be able to talk about with you how can we sane and how can we be safe. So this is the part two of my discussion on safety and sanity. So please do join me for the rest of the next 30 minutes to be able to discuss the part two, and that it's about sanity. The other day, last Tuesday, the first part we talked about safety, what it means to be physically safe and psychologically safe. So ngayong hapon, maganda nating himayin what is sanity and what do we need to do to be able to keep ourselves sane, mentally, emotionally sane in these trying times, in this pandemic situation. Na more than a year now, we're still here. We're in the middle of we're in the middle maybe, and we don't see the end of, no matter what changes happening outside, hindi pa rin natin nakikita anong mangyayari pagkatapos. So please join me for the rest of the afternoon, not the afternoon, but join me for the rest of the in this discussion. So I would like to greet everybody who are tuned in already. I just have to adjust something. I would like to greet everybody who are tuned in already, and then please do share this to family and friends na alam nyo ngayon maraming pinagdadaanan and they might be anxious, or the thing that I've heard is that marami pa ring hindi nakatanggap sa sitwasyon. Tama kaya? Kayo, friends, I would like to ask you as we start the ball rolling. We've been here in Coffee Break for more than a year already, right? Siguro nakita niyo natin on how we evolve the topic, how we discuss the topic, and how we connect the topic to everything that's happening to you. If you can, please put there in the comment section. Ano yung isang bagay na pinagdadaanan mo ngayon? What is that prominent feeling that you have right now? I hope that we engage or you get to answer what I'm asking. What is it yung pinagdadaanan mo ngayon? Ano yung bagay na, oh wow, ito yung hugot ko. Yan, I would like to say that in Tagalog. Ito yung hugot ko ngayon. I'm afraid again. I'm anxious. Yan. Because the other day, we talk about physical safety and psychological safety is about that sense that we can share. We have this support from the people we love, that it's okay to feel that way. It's okay if you are not okay, and that we are accepted and not judged with what we're going to share with them. And today, let's continue that discussion. Do you feel psychologically safe with the people around you? Because in all honesty, as I mentioned the other day, it's not a guarantee that the people we live with, we can safely be who ourselves. We can be safe in feeling our emotions when we're with them. That's a sad thing to note, but I would like to ask you, kaya gusto kong tanungin sa inyo, kayo mismo, anong nararamdaman nyo? While you're listening to me, even if you're gonna watch this at replay, what is it that you're feeling right now? Ano yung nararamdaman mo? Ano yung nangyayari sa'yo? Because it's very important for us to take hold of that. Okay, another thing, I would like you to check also that Coffee Break already is eligible for stars. And if you would see that there's a notification that you can support Coffee Break and this mission by sending stars, and that's a monetary gift. So while I'm waiting for that, it's good to know that you are here, you are watching live, and I would like to tune in. I would like to check in with you. Like this girl named Pauline Rivera, she has an exams on Saturday. She's nervous, but the pandemic is making more anxious. I feel psychologically safe with the people around me. I like it. Pau, yung pandemic hindi mo kontrolado, yung exams mo kontrolado mo. Tandaan mo yan. So mag-aral ka na pagkatapos ito, wag mo nang isipin yung pandemic. And that's what I want to talk to you about. It's like this pandemic, it's like taking an exam. when I talk to you about the sense of sanity, it's like a personal exam, and we are being checked on our mental state. We are being checked on our emotional maturity. And more importantly, we are being checked in our spiritual connection. So, welcome to this exam, or called comprehensive exam of life. I'm taking note of what's going to go happen to you, Pau. I'm going to pray for you. But really, it's going to give us another insight that, okay, we're here already, we're 2.0 already, pangalawang beses nang nangyari sa atin to, nag-surge and all, but look at it, sanity, it's all about our mental state. I think people are saying that you're fatigued, and then I'm not sure if it's midlife, you're looking for more. Lourdes Maria, it might just be, okay, try to look into my book, The Beauty of 40, Unwrapping the Gift of Midlife. Yeah, the take away the big message of that book. Okay, so it's sanity. It's about mental health state. Yeah, nararamdaman ko yung nararamdaman nyo. This pandemic, parang wow, we're so tired. And but I would like you to, kahit na alam mo na, alam ko marami sa atin narinig na yung mga concepts that I'm going to share with you this afternoon. Ang sarap pa rin pag-usapan. Gusto ko pa rin himayin yung topics para mas But this year, the pandemic is a different ballgame from our personal sanity, our state last year. But it's going to be a different thing altogether now in this present situation. I know that you would agree with me. There's still internet disconnection, there's still instability outside, but you know what? No matter what stressor would happen, kahit ano pang mangyari sa labas, friends, I would like you to realize, just as I said earlier, just like the exam, just like a comprehensive exam, we are in charge of reviewing, we are in charge of checking ourselves, and we are in charge of picking where we are. So we are in charge of our sanity. Can you put that in the comment section? I am in charge of my sanity. I am in charge of my well-being. I'm not saying that we be physically fit. I'm not saying that we are 100% sane. Oo, lahat tayo dumadaan sa mga araw na we're so afraid, we're so tense, na feeling natin konting kati ng lalamunan, konting ubo, konting sniffles at sipon, and now it's the allergic season. We thought that we would be at risk, but let me just go through with you. How is it this all this that's happening today, right now, the past 2 weeks may be affecting your state? Can you say that to me? Can you share that with me? How is all this affecting your state of well-being? So ayan, sinasabi nyo, I'm in charge of your well-being. How is this all affecting you? Your physical and psychological safety, it's important, but more important now is our psychological and emotional sanity. Okay, Joe, I am taking off from what you're saying. I'm sad as a friend died today. My husband is given 3 months to live with cancer, and I know you know that you're claiming that God will help us. You're bringing us hope because in all this that's happening, andito ka nakikinig, andito ka nagpa-participate, and that's what I would like to say. We find ways. We find ways. We create solutions to see that how can we deserve a better life, how can we how can we do something new, how can we how can we take care of our sanity and our health. Okay, so I would, as I said earlier, how is the pandemic helping you? I don't know your answers. Meron na bang sumagot? Yes, totoo yan, that many of us, we are fatigued already. Ang dami ng meron na yung Zoom fatigue, pandemic fatigue, fatigue at lahat na ng klase na nangyari. Okay, okay, let me start first. I would just share 5 points with you. But these are deep points na alam ko narinig niyo na rin naman sa akin eh. So, it's okay. I hope it's going to be okay with you if I repeat some of the points again. Before that, last night I was just chatting with a dear good friend, and then she was sharing with me. Sabi niya, girl, I was on the phone. I was on a call with 3 or 4 other friends, and then what I realized is I have friends na hindi pa rin tanggap yung sitwasyon ngayon. Hindi pa rin tanggap na we're in the middle of the pandemic, and then that life is not normal, na iniintay lang nila na mawala yung lockdown or magkaroon ng vaccine, at ang iniintay din nila is for things to go back to normal. They're not taking care of their health, wala silang pakialam sa itsura nila. So, and then they're so angry with the situation. They're so angry at people. They're so angry at the world, as if the pandemic has taken away their life. That is very true. But one thing that we realize, the pandemic may have taken a lot from us, but it does not mean that we need to give the pandemic our dignity, our dreams. Because if we're so focused on our dreams, we forgot that we have a reality now that we need to thread through. If our life and our worth is focused on our dreams, friends, baka makalimutan natin kung sino talaga tayo. Kasi gusto natin ma-achieve yun eh. Gusto natin makuha yun. Gusto natin kaya tayo nangangarap kasi ito yung timetable ko eh. And let me just go through with you things that how to keep us safe in this pandemic 2.0. How can we be better? How can we keep ourselves sane? How can we be safe? Are you ready, friends? Who among you can relate with what I'm saying na marami pa rin hindi nakakatanggap? And this good friend of mine was saying na, Itchel, please continue with this mission of you're doing kasi marami pa palang dapat na magising. So later on, I have a call to action for you, friends. Okay, so the first thing that we can do to keep ourselves safe and sane. One, we need to accept. Can you say that with me? I need to accept. Parang I need to bombard us, even me, to accept that the situation, unang-una, is hard. Tama ba? Do you agree with me? That situation that we're having, it's really hard. It's not a joke. Hindi siya, hindi siya pandemic lang. It's the pandemic. Diba? It's not wala ito thing. It's not, we do not need to belittle it. Okay? So, another thing that I need to, the situation is hard. Sino sa inyong nahihirapan? Say me. Kasi pwede naman na magaling lang tayong magdala. Pero, honestly, nahihirapan tayo. So, if you think that the situation is hard, put that in the comment section. It's really hard. And because of that, we also need to accept na hindi matanggap na ibang tao, na the uncertainty, we need to accept uncertainty, and we need to accept the unknown. So anong mangyayari pag nagka-vaccine? So anong mangyayari at the end of the year? We don't know. We did not even expect this to happen. Well, some scientists anticipated that this would happen, but the higher ups would not listen to what data and science would tell the prediction of things. But come to think of it, kahit na anong gawin ng in our system, the government, if they will not help us, the more that we need to help us, I know that we need to, because it's so unpredictable. It's so erratic. The sad thing is that we're all working hard. Lilitaw dito yung angst ko rin. We're all working hard here. We're all doing our part in our piece of the world, in our homes, but then some people do not think otherwise. So I would like you to really take charge, the uncertain that, and accept, one, the situation is hard. Two, uncertainty, we cannot tell. So this friend of mine asked me, so what can I do, what can we do as we brace through this, the year 2 of pandemic? Don't expect anything, don't expect any big thing, don't make too big dreams, don't pin yourselves on the dreams, pin yourself in the present. Meaning pin, you pin it, ano natin, you bookmark it like this. This is This is paperclip. I-paperclip mo, tandaan mo. Cabs, yeah, we can tell, and then this too shall pass, agree. But some people do not think so. And I would like to remind you. And also, we need to accept the state of loss. We need to accept our loss. I know many of you are grieving. Joe, are you here? I know you're grieving on the loss of a friend. I know we are grieving also for lost finances, lost opportunities, lost dreams, lost. We lost so much. How I wish I we lost a lot of weight in a healthy manner also. But we've lost so much, and we need to accept that we lost a lot. Tama ba? Um, we need to accept that we lost a lot. That's critical to hear, friends. We need to uh, we need to realize that we lost a lot. Do you realize that? Who among you lost a lot? We need to accept that, because if we keep resisting that we lost something, the more it will be very, very hard for us. Okay? So we have to realize that we lost. And so that's the first thing. Accept that the situation is hard. Accept that there are uncertainties and unknowns that we need to thread through. And then the third one, it's the state of loss. We know we need to acknowledge loss. So number two that I need you to do something about is that we need to admit. Sa Tagalog, ano ba yung admit sa Tagalog? Ano ba yung admit sa Tagalog? Okay? Ang admit sa Tagalog ay aminin. Aminin mo na sa sarili mo, 'di ba? Pag sinabi mo na kasi ayaw mong aminin. Because the opposite of admit is denial. Are you still here, friends? Can I see you? Um, am I still engaging with you? Can you hear me? Yeah, aminin. Mommy Fides, yes, aminin mo na. Love mo ko. Okay. So, okay, aminin. So what I mean by aminin? Aminin is you have to admit that things will not be the same. Even though we go back to normal, I really am sure it will not going to be 100% the same way that we had pre-pandemic. Pumasok tayo sa pandemya na iba. Paglabas natin, iba. Iba na naman yan. So you have to admit to yourself, you have to admit that the situation then, iba yung pre-pandemic, iba yung present pandemic, at iba yung post-pandemic. And we need to admit that. We need to admit that we need to take charge, that we are in control of our lives. Do not do not depend. We should not depend our destiny in the government initiative. Baka kung saan mapunta yung destiny natin. We should not pin down our dreams when the pandemic is lifted. Pag sinabi na ng pare na um, go in peace, di ba? Na we are all gathered together again. Okay? The mask has ended. Yan yung hinahanap ko word. We're not gonna wait for that. We have to admit that it's not going to be the same, because we need to admit that there are too many things beyond our control. You agree that? If you admit that, can you admit that yourself? Aminin ko na it's not going to be the same. And I think I need to if we will admit, alam mo, na iba talaga ngayon. Tinanggap mo na ba at inamin mo na sarili mo na iba at mahirap, there's no more struggle. Tanggap mo na eh, di ba? Ang struggle ay nangyayari kung merong denial, kung meron, we keep rationalizing things and we keep making excuses. That's where the struggle is happening. But there's no struggle. There's no problem if we're just going to align things na kung may nangyaring problema, kung may nangyaring difficulty because of the pandemic, because it's not about that we are negative. It's because we admit to ourselves that things are hard and it's not going to be the same, and that there are too many things beyond our control. Is that clear with you? Somebody was asking, messaging me, where is the star button? I think the star button is in the comment section, so you can check it out there. So if you would be interested to share stars and to send stars in this live stream, you may do so. Okay, so here, uh, I like what you're saying, Cabs. Because of the situation, I let my husband to be away from me because I want to live peacefully. Everything is not normal, but just as I rely on how God do His part in my life. This is amazing. This is like sharing. I like it that I'm getting people to share here in Coffee Break. Hindi ko na lang i-highlight yung sharing mo, Cabs, but thank you for being honest and thank you for being open. So, you have to admit that things are hard and things will be very, very difficult. And number three, so is this helpful for you, friends? I would like to ask, is this helpful for you? Do you find this helpful? May natututunan ba kayo? If yes, please press heart or please press the like button if you are learning and if you are gaining something from this. Okay, so next thing that you should do, allow. The third one is allow. Napakasimple ng mga sinasabi ko, di ba? The first one, admit. The second, ano yung second? The first one is accept. The second, admit. The third one is allow. How are we allowing the Lord to work in our lives? Okay. So allow. One thing that we should do when this pandemic started, I hear a lot of uh, people saying na ayoko magpakita nagbe-breakdown ako. I want people to see that I am strong. I want to I don't want to feel anymore because I know I'm getting a lot of this. I don't want to feel anymore because iniisip ko lang yung problema. You have to allow yourself to feel because if you're just going to bottle up all your anxieties, all your fears, and all the even the anger and the hate inside, if if once you've already accepted and then you've admitted, we allow yourself to feel. So, inaamin mo ba na nahihirapan ka? So, kung nahihirapan ka, how are you feeling? I feel burdened and I feel heavy. Diba? Kasi nahihirapan ka eh. And when we allow ourselves to feel, friends, and that is going to be amazing. We allow ourselves to be weak when we need to be weak. We allow ourselves to be sad because we need to be sad. Allow yourself moments to grieve, allow yourselves moment to cry because we need to do that. Allow yourself time to say I am not okay. Who can relate with me? One thing that this pandemic has showed me is that I see people who are very vulnerable, like the ones you hear in sharing what happened to you. But I we need to continuously do this because yes, we allow ourselves to feel this, and then once we allow it, we allow ourselves to recover, to heal, and to move from it. Diba? What we cannot name, we cannot heal. What we don't feel, we cannot heal. I think you've heard that from me. Sabi nga, di ba, it's okay not to be okay, but we don't get stuck. That's my quote. You don't get stuck not being okay. So how are you with this? So look at this, friends. You allow yourselves. Do you allow yourselves to feel? I need to ask you that. Sagutin niyo ko ng yes or no. Can you say that if you allow yourselves to feel, put that in the comment section. Yes, Mia, you allow yourself to mourn things you have to let go of. You have to mourn, you have to grieve, you have to grieve the loss of a person. Hindi ako naniniwalang kailangan ipakita sa mga anak at sa ibang tao na malakas ako. Because sometimes they draw strength simply because they see that we are weak and we are mourning, but life goes on. Life goes on. Jo, that's so cute of you. I cannot send stars. Can I send cash? You can message me directly on how you're going to support Coffee Break, and I would welcome that so that I can pay the tech and I can pay the people who's helping me pull through this together. Okay, so another thing, allow yourself to feel. So, are you allowing yourselves to feel? I need you to do this. One thing that is affecting too many people, and one common mistake that many people have is that they're trying to fake it, but they don't make it. Why? Ang emosyon ay energy. If it's bottled up in our system, then what will happen if there's just too much? of the negative side of it that's in our system. What happens to it? Too much emotions and too much energy bottled up in our system, it can explode, friends. It can explode, and it's not gonna be nice. So it's not gonna be good. It's gonna be not just plain sanity, but it's gonna be a crisis situation for many. So we have to learn slowly to grieve if we can, to just to be yourself. So you have to allow yourselves to feel, and you have to allow yourself space. So if there are people around you na parang, teka lang, parang sumusobra na tayong magkasama or nasusobra, I'm having too much of you, yes, it's okay to retreat. It's okay not to reply to messages, especially if it's becoming toxic for you. It's okay not to reply to messages if it's not healthy for you at a certain time. If it's not if it's not emergency, okay lang. Sino may sabi? Sabi ko, yes, sabi ko, pero sasabihin ko rin sa inyo paulit-ulit. Okay lang. Okay lang ba sa inyo na may marinig sa ibang tao of how they're going to judge you? Well, the more we listen to what other people think we will be and we should behave and how should we feel, friends, the more that we're allowing ourselves to be controlled by other people. So you have to allow yourself space if other people are not becoming helpful in your sanity in this pandemic situation. Are you still with me? Are you getting something? So the first one, what's the first A? We should accept. The second one, we should admit, aminin. The third one, we should allow. Hayaan natin. There's a term that hayaan. Pero pag hinayaan naman, hindi natin sinasabi na wala tayong gagawin. This allow, it's also letting go, but letting God. Isn't that wonderful? Because for me, allowing ourselves to have this, allowing openness, allowing to feel, it's allowing God's grace to work in our lives also. And that's the more important. And number 4, we need to adjust. Friends, naka-adjust na ba kayo? ECQ na naman tayo. Ewan ko sa inyo dun sa iba. Marami akong friends dito nanonood from other countries. Pero I know that your life is different there. So, wag na tayong mainggit, friends, kung yung iba, I'm seeing a lot of people in my feeds, they're having what they call now vaccine envy. Naiinggit sa mga may vaccine. Tinanong ko yung sarili ko, am I envy? Sabi ko, why would you be envy? Okay, that's their feeling. Okay, let us respect that. But because I know that we can always adjust. We can always adjust. First thing that we can adjust about in this pandemic situation na paulit-ulit ako, andito na tayo ng 1 year. Na-adjust nyo na ba yung routine sa bahay? So from being on almost no restriction, biglang nag-restrict ng to tighten up the belt. So somehow, let's stop whining na bakit kasi ganito na naman? Because this is what's important. My health is important. The well-being and the safety of the whole family is important. So, let's adjust. But one thing that you should always adjust is how you treat yourself. Are you always so kind to other people but you're not kind to yourself? That is critical. So you have to learn how you treat yourself in a way that you treat somebody that you love with self-compassion, with kindness. Friends, I talk about this a lot when I talk about self-care and well-being, but you have to make sure that the first thing that you adjust is your manner of treating yourself, especially if there's just too much loaded in your system. How do you keep your sanity? Adjust your treatment to yourself. Adjust the standards that you have set. Meaning, baka naman ito pa yung standard mo, pero ang realidad mo, hindi kaya. You cannot cook the way you cook before because not all ingredients are present. You cannot have the same routines that you had before because things are different. You cannot have that walking that you had before at 7 p.m. because 5 p.m. is a curfew. So, instead of whining about it, why not spend your energy adjusting and see how can you do things better given this situation? So adjust how we treat ourselves. Adjust your routines. Walang masama. Mas may mamamatay at mas may magkakasakit pag hindi tayo natutong mag-adjust. And more importantly, adjust how do you do things. I think nandun tayo sa stuck na, kasi dati ganito kasi noon naman January, kasi noon naman November, ganito naman na yung nangyayari sa amin. Yes, but things are different now. Things are different again. And the only thing constant right now is that the virus is still there and that change it's still very constant because uncertainty it's still another constant. But that's why we need to learn how to keep adjusting. I'm not saying here adjust the values. I'm saying here adjust the way we do things. Sabi nga sa akin minsan ni Lord, in one of my prayer time, the Lord is very clear with the impression and my readings and the reflections that I had. Your mission is the same, but the platform and how you do things is different. And isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? So we need to adjust. So instead of just push, and saying instead of saying fight, no, I'm going to say again and again. We pause and we pivot. We don't just keep pushing because maybe we're pushing so much to the point that how we push is how we pushed before. But right now, we need to pause, we need to ponder, tama ba yung ginagawa ko? And we need to pivot when needed, and that is adjust. So number 4 is adjust. And number 5, this is the last part, but this is the longest one. Align yourself. Align. Can you all say that with me? I need to align myself. What do I mean by align? When we say alignment, alignment is that ito napakasimple. What we say, we do. What we believe in, what we do. Our life, what I'm speaking about, it's something that I do. Try to do, even if it's imperfect. So um, when we pray for health, for example, how do we align? Alignment, it's hindi siya sinasabing diretsyo, pero it's duktong-duktong at magkakatugma. Ayan, I like that term, magkakatugma. It's not a very straight line, but somehow there's an alignment here. There is consistency at the end result. The mindset, the mind, it's connected to the body, and the body is connected to our spirit. What we think in the mind will go also to our emotions, and how we feel will be manifested in our behavior, in our actions, and in our words. So that is critical. And look at it, friends. We pray for health, right? Ito yung isang alignment that we can do. We pray for health. Who among you prays for health? Raise your hand and say, I pray for health. When you pray for health, do you take care of your health? When we pray for health, hindi lang natin pagdadasal, Lord, protect us from having the virus, heal our family. When we pray for health, we work on having good health. We take the necessary supplements. We take the right kind of sleep. We exercise or move. We eat the right food and not just junk food or just all meat everyday highway. And lastly, when we pray for health, we create solutions to be able to support our health. Okay, may mga bagay na ipagpapasa Diyos tayo, pero friends, the Lord cannot bless if we are not aligned with how He wants it. Because if we gonna pray for health, I want to recover. It's just not about cabs are saying faith without work is dead. Dead meat talaga. Because we just don't take medicine. We just don't take the pill or the medicine because we're sick already. When we pray for health and when we take care of our health, all the little details of our life, it's aligned. Pagtulog natin, pagkain natin, routines natin sa bahay, ina-align natin yan. Because that's the critical way on how we're going to be safe and sane too. Another thing to align, we pray for protection. Do we do it also to we pray for protection, we pray for clarity, we pray also for the families relationship. But do we take that step? to mend relationships? Do we say sorry if we need to or hindi na lang natin pinapansin yung issue? Hayaan mo na, hindi naman siya nagsalita, eh, yan, nakikiramdam lang tayo. It's not gonna be nice. There's no alignment there. Because how can the Lord align something na ayaw natin aminin? Because when we align ourselves, it's a combination. It's in totality of our mind, our body, and our spirit. So here, it's just not about aligning for the sake of no. We align. Why? Because if our mind is clear and we remove all the toxic people nagging our heads, all the news feed that is affecting us badly, and all the negativity, if we want a more sane life, we remove those polluting our mind or not being helpful to our minds. Another one, when we say, I want to be safe and sane in my body, and the body is a temple of the spirit. So we need to do things to support our body. And more importantly, this is something very critical. This pandemic situation has tested our faith life. I know that many of us prayed so hard. And friends, yun yung call natin dito. Safe, and I've seen how people with deep relationship with God or acknowledging that there is a God in their lives, or trying hard to relate with God, trying hard to get to know God. I've seen them, and studies have proven that spiritual growth and um, acknowledging that there is a bigger and a supreme being in our lives. These are studies across people. Our spiritual self, our spiritual growth, and our spiritual aspect or spiritual well-being, it's very critical to help us thread through, to help us navigate the pandemic. Prayer without works, sabi nga, faith without works is dead. You said that very correctly. But works without prayer can also be nothing. We are just, doing things, mind and body. But who we are, we have a spirit. And that spirit is how God connects with us. So you have to acknowledge that, because nakita natin na yung mga tao na they have more hope, more is despite difficulty. It's because they acknowledge, and then they know how to step aside, because they know how to align with the God, with the Lord. And that's wonderful. I'm not saying that when we be safe, we try to be safe and sane, things will be perfect. No, it's not gonna be perfect. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be harder. But we need to align ourselves to the one who made us, and that is the Lord. I am no preacher here, but just want to share with you the homily of my favorite priest this morning, Father Joel Lason. He said in his homily that Jesus showed his scars. Pinakita ni Lord in the gospel today, the scars he has. He showed it to his disciples. And it's very connected to what I'm sharing here. Do we show our scars also? Huwag natin itago na meron tayong sakit. Huwag natin itago na meron tayong pinagdadaanan. I'm not saying that to disclose everything and you make social media your diary. That's a different thing. But I would like you to admit it to yourself and then show the close people that you have. Because when we show it and share it, we help to heal. We help each other to heal. That's why I like the people here at Coffee Break who has been sharing, disclosing themselves. Kahit I don't know you personally, you're very brave enough to share what you're going through. And I know each of us, we're going through anxiety, we're going through financial difficulties, we're going through grieving, we're going through loss, we're going through so much, right? But I hope that these little things that I'm sharing with you, how can we keep ourselves safe and sane? We need to accept, admit, allow, adjust, and align ourselves. And more importantly, align ourselves, mind, body, and spirit. I know that I hope that these are helping you to be able to support ourselves, because we need to do that, friends. We need to do that. And I hope that this is helpful for you. I think I go overtime this afternoon. So I have three announcements, tatlong announcements. So friends, what I need you to do is that if you see the stars in the comment section button, if you would like to support if you would like and open to support Coffee Break with Dr. Michelle, please you may send stars. And then that stars, you can continue sending stars as your mission as I continue with the mission of doing Coffee Break so that I can support the people also supporting Coffee Break, and that is very important. I hope that because you are blessed, we continue the blessing. Another thing that I would like to share with you is that I will let me flash this. I think this is already in my feed, but I would like to share with you that here, it's here, on May 1, 2020, I'm going to have a workshop. It's called Self Care and Beyond. It's an exclusive online care shop for women. So the mothers here, this is a very fitting way, a gift for yourself on Mother's Day. But another thing is that it can also be your treat for yourself or for a very good friend. So please avail of the early bird by registering. Please check out the post in my Facebook page to be able to see what the session is about. So maybe I will post here later on the link, but you can check it out in my Facebook page. And more importantly, I would like you to do this, friends. I know that we are sharing. Mommy Fides, thank you for posting that's the link. If you click this link, that's the link for the registration. Because we're ending the registration, the early bird registration, because we're going to go to the regular rate after April 18. Okay, and lastly, I know if you're na-realize ko kahapon sa tawag ng isang kaibigan na marami palang may pinagdadaanan talaga itong time ng pandemya at marami pang hindi nakakatanggap. Ang sabi niya, it shall keep doing what you're doing. And I'm not stopping with what I'm doing. And I know each of us are learning. So I would like you to do this, friends. If you can, I would like you to do this. If you would like to share Coffee Break in your own news feed, what I would like you to share is, I learned in over Coffee Break that daktungan nyo, or during coffee break, I realized that dagdagan nyo. Kasi minsan may mga tao na, ano yan? Ano yung shinare niya? Wala lang. Sino yan? Hindi naman nila ako kilala. I'm not popular, okay? I'm not a household name. But being able to know your hugots and know that something is blessing you, they might be able to relate na, uy, okay yun na, saan mo natutunan yun? Saka nyo sasabihin, okay, I learned in coffee break that. So lagay nyo dun yung learning nyo, maybe one phrase or sentence, and then maybe you can add there the link to this coffee break episode. Would that be good, friends? So maybe you can say, I learned in coffee break. So you can continue this, or you can also add to the sentence that over coffee break, over coffee break, I realized that there. That is a way to bless. If you want to share it in whatever platform, either you want to share it in your social media, you can also link there the YouTube of Coffee Break and also the Spotify podcast. So nandyan siya lahat. Because friends, we need to do our part to support each other. This is my way of supporting each and every one of you who are working, doing your life, and trying to make it and thrive well in this pandemic. But I know that there are more people needing our help. So I hope, friends, this has blessed you. Bless others by sharing the link, sharing your realization, and also bless the world. Also, bless the people behind Coffee Break by sending stars with love and care. I hope to see you next week, and I hope, friends, that this weekend, a long weekend, you find ways to be safe, you find ways to be sane, because we need to do our part. We cannot control the outside, but we can control this check-in, this exam that we are together. And that's what being safe and sane is all about. This is Dr. Michele Alignay saying, God bless you all, and may you bless more as we bless the world.